What's going on, YouTube? It's Devin Coates. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I'm going to do a book review for you guys. It's Grit by Angela Duckworth. Listened to it about a couple weeks ago. I just want to get it while it's still fresh since I listened to it, so I don't have a lot of notes. I was driving around. Um, so I'll just kind of jump right in. First off, writing style. It's written a little bit dense. She comes from a psychologist kind of background. She goes through it in detail. Just grab the book if you want to learn a little bit more, read a bio. She so lots of longitudinal studies, a lot very social scientific kind of approach. So it's a little bit denser in that way. I listened to it, so it didn't make it harder to get through, but I could imagine actually reading it, such as a book like Sexual Paradox. It's a little bit slower to read because they're using a lot of different types of language and a certain style of writing that's a little bit more scholarly. So I'll kind of just summarize part one and what I got from that. Basically, she kind of starts. Grit is all about showing up. And grit. I'm just gonna fast forward. She kind of determines as one of the pretty much the biggest determiner of success. And number one, it's about showing up. So it's not about how great you are at something, how you do at something. The people who do the best generally show up every day, and every day you show up, that's important. That makes you more gritty, and that leads to more success. Now she starts breaking it down. So she goes into talking about being distracted by talent, because a lot of times people, oh, they're talented, that's why they got it. They're just a talent. They're just a talent. So that's she goes into that, and then she comes up with this formula called effort counts twice. She uses a lot of different studies, like a West Point study. That's pretty much the selling point study. So I don't know if I'm going to get very deep into that, but the basic thing about it is just that West Point extremely rigorous one application process, but then once you get in, there's like a 4 week training period that's ridiculous that people drop like flies. So she was um she was determined to be somebody that should figure out how they can determine who's going to be the ones that actually pass. Basically, the scores that they had on the application process had no bearing or correlation to who would actually pass. It gave, I guess, who had more talent and who God given ability to pass, or up to that point had gained the talent and skill to be um, at that point. But I guess she explains it through so many metaphors. I don't really think the metaphor itself is very important. So she comes up to the conclusion that talent does matter, but it's not everything. Effort counts twice. So effort actually is the exponential um, uh, variable in the equation. So she comes up with this equation. So talent starts in the first equation. So it's talent times effort equals skill. So however talented you are, if you play piano, however, so everybody has a baseline talent. Somebody might have no rhythm, somebody might have extreme rhythm, somebody might have extreme understanding of music at an early age. If they never put any effort into it, they'll never be skilled at piano, even if they had this uh, inherent innate talent. Somebody could be mediocrely talent, put a ton of effort in from 5 to about 15, and then they'd be a pretty formidable piano player because they put so much effort. They'd be pretty skilled piano player because they put so much effort in. So now we're getting to where you're actually reaching the goal. So you take that. So skill now times effort. This is the second time effort's being put in. Now, how much effort you put to actually applying your skill and refining your skill would equal your achievement. So you can have all the talent in the world and build a bunch of skill, but if you never use the new skills you have and perfect them to a point where it's you're putting more effort in to achieve certain things. So that could be something of the effect of somebody could play basketball. They had whatever talent, so they put the effort in, and then now they can shoot these 3 pointers, do these crazy shots, and they have all the skills to do all this. Now, they kind of just stagnate and just keep playing with the other person. So one, their skills are not going to improve because they're not putting as much effort on their talent to improve it. But now they're not applying their skills to more difficult situations and putting effort into that way, they're not going to achieve much. So she's just kind of saying that effort gets put in the equation twice. So your grit, how much you show up, how much effort you put into actually developing one, your talent into skill, and then applying your skill to actually achieve your goals, is that's your determiner of success. And effort is the most important variable because it's put in twice. She goes through. She has like a grit scale that I'm sure you can find online if you wanted to look it up. And uh, yeah, so basically that's really the whole first part is kind of just defining what grit is, how's grit work, and those kind of things. Then she starts moving on to more of the practical things and talking about how you determine your interests and choosing something. So basically, and she kind of goes a little bit all over the place, and my memory is a little bit more fuzzy in this part because it was just a bunch of different things. I wouldn't say it was redundant, but you know how a book is. Generally, in the first chapter, a lot of the main hypothesis already put in. So I'll kind of just talk about what she was saying that I really liked that she was talking about that's important. So she was just talking about how you have low level goals, medium level goals, and then high level goals, and basically that your grittiness is kind of going to be determined. And she talks about well, she talks about having a purpose, so that really goes into it. So your purpose would probably be your highest level goal, and that would be something that's, and I'm going to reverse engineer this because I actually did do a first take of this and I completely fucked this metaphor up and fucked up the video. um, so a purpose could be that I want to help I want to help 1 billion people, or millions of people, as many people as possible, whatever your thing is, 1 billion people to better themselves uh, through education um, and I just want to find a way to help 1 billion people better themselves and help to improve themselves. So that could be, for example, for me, I'm just trying to make one off the fly. Maybe I should really make one after reading this book. That could be my high level goal. So that's never going to change. Everything I do, all my grit and all my efforts and skills and talent is going to be plugged into achieving that. Now, your medium level goal could be um, I want to go to work and put in 40 to 50 hours every week of hard, uninterrupted work. Um, and that could be a medium level goal. And she kind of talks about giving up on things and not being greedy for certain things. Now, you could be at a job that the first year, the first 2 years, it's really helping serve that higher level goal. You need to learn this skill, you needed to refine your talents, learn this skill, apply those skills, and achieve certain things in that realm. But there can be a point where it's like, I'm not learning anything anymore. This is no longer serving my highest purpose goal. So I need to be gritty on that, and that can eliminate the uh, the medium level goal at that point, and you can make a new medium level goal that still falls under um, the top level goal. And then she has like low level goals, which could be just like something that's under that. So I'm trying to think of one just off the top of my head. Like a low level goal could be, I have to um, I have to get eat a bunch of protein because I want to build muscle. And why do I want to build muscle? Because uh, um, I want to, I want to look bigger, more attractive, I guess, and look like a better specimen. And then why do you want to look like a better specimen? Because I think that that's going to help other people be inspired to take control of their health, and they want to eat healthy. And let's revise that lower level goal. I want to eat a vegan. healthy diet, greens and everything, plus the protein, because protein ain't everything. I'm starting to really get to that. And then the highest level goal would be the one where I want to help 1 billion people empower themselves. Why? There's no reason. And that's how you know you've reached the highest level. So that's basically the marquee. There's always a reason. It's the low, and then you move into medium, and then you move into high. And your high level goal needs to always be there. You need to always work towards that. And then she gets into other things about parenting grit and all these other things. She explains that grit can be learned. Um, you want to be around a culture of grit. You want to be around other gritty people, and that you can teach grit in children. And I think that that would be, if you're using like an authoritative parenting style, if you know anything about psychology. But I mean, I'm not really getting it all into the parenting stuff. I don't really think that's extremely relevant at this point. If you want to get into the nuts and bolts, I would recommend to read the book. The book was great. It's about grit. That's why I had to put this up, because I'm not being gritty if I'm not showing up putting these fucking videos up. But that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit long, but it's book review. Angela Duckworth, Grit, great read. If you like the content, please click the like button. Throw some freaking comments below. Click the subscribe button. I love subscribers. And until next time, peace out.